one of the voices of the NHL on NBC and NBCSN and the family of networks, Eddie Olczyk. How are you, Eddie?
Hi, Rich. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. It's the same during these crazy times. So health and happiness to you and yours.
Well, I was going to ask you that question because I know you are somebody who would be at risk. Ed, what's going on with you?
No, feeling good. Yeah, it's hard to believe. I'm 2 years since my battle with stage 3 colon cancer, and officially got my yearly scan the other day, and it came back all clean and clear.
Wonderful.
So I'm very lucky, very blessed, and just trying to do the right things, for myself and my family, and abiding by the medical professionals. And but I'm feeling good, and some great news yesterday. Probably the best medicine that I've had in a long time, hearing the commissioner jump on there and give the format and the return to play. And I think the one thing too, Rich, I think the league, led by the commissioner, Mr. Bettman, and the deputy commissioner, Bill Daly, I think the league has done an unbelievable job here since the pause. Like, since the middle of March, they've been out there, they've been answering questions, they've give information when it was there, and they've gone underground when there was really nothing to say, and then to be able to get together with the board of governors and the owners, and then obviously the players and the return to play committee, to be able to come together and say, okay, look, if we can accomplish this is the way it's going to be. And look, you can poke holes at it, you can break it down, and some teams, Buffalo and New Jersey, for example, on the outside looking in, they had a couple of games in hand, and you could argue it until you're blue in the face. But look, I think that they deserve a lot. I think the leadership the commissioner showed was second to none during this whole thing. And look, we're probably 10 minutes into the first period through this whole process right now, and hopefully we'll get back to playing. But at least everybody has an idea. And let's get through the first couple of phases, and then we'll worry about dropping the puck when the time permits. And again, that will all be because of the safety and the aspect and the guidance of the medical professionals.
So I guess then let's get into the format here, right? Let's talk a little sports, Ed. Let's do it. Does this format, do you think, benefit one team over another, just based on at first blush, looking at it?
Well, I mean, I think when you break it down, you mentioned, Rich, the top 4 teams in each conference getting a bye, and then they'll play a little round robin to play the seedings there. The interesting thing is that you had teams that were on the outside looking in, right? When the pause happened, the teams that were sitting at 9, 10, 11, 12, all of a sudden they may be 8, 9 points out of a playoff spot, and here they are getting an opportunity to challenge for, in my opinion, the greatest trophy in all professional sports. So when you look at it from that aspect of it, it's an opportunity for teams that, maybe thought that, hey, they had to go on an unbelievable run before the pause and have a chance at getting into the playoffs. So, that to me is, when you look at the 5 versus 12 is going to be, I mean, it's wide open, Rich. Like, I don't think anything that anybody did prior to the pause really has no relevance in what's going to take place here, because this is absolutely uncharted territories. I mean, most of these guys will have been off the ice almost like an off season, and if we've had any normalcy in our life, they'd be off the ice for maybe 3+ months. And then, now they're going to go, and they're probably going to have their informal skates. They can skate with their teammates up to 6 at their facilities when that opportunity presents itself in the next phase, and then eventually no earlier than the middle of July that they will have the formal team practicing. But I don't think I really don't. I don't think it favors anybody. I think you could sit there and say, you know what, if you like the longest shot on the board, and being a horse player, Rich, as you know I am, if you got that courage and gumption and think, wow, this team's got a goaltender, this guy's got a star player, why can't they go on a run? Because that's what you got to do. So for me, a lot of scenarios out there, the possibilities of how we were going to get this thing done, and I think that the league, and along with the players, again, don't forget, the players had a big say in this. They came to the best conclusion, and looking forward to see how this format plays out, especially once you get past, the first preliminary rounds, Rich, because you got this 5 versus 12, just like the NCAA.
Right.
The March Madness is once you get through that, are they going to have a bracket situation, or are they going to reseed and then go from the highest ranked team to the lowest and then have them play? That's all to be determined, as you mentioned a little bit earlier. So that's the exciting part, is how they're going to decide how this thing all plays out.
Well, I know I might sound like a Southern California Eddie Olczyk, but I'm also got a New Yorker in me too. Wouldn't it be interesting that if the Canadians finally break the McSorley stick curse under this format? They go from a 12 seed and going on a run.
They got the goalie that could do it, Rich. They got the goalie that can do it, Carey Price. There's no doubt. They've got some holes there. I don't think the holes have been plugged up since the pause. Montreal's going to have a tough time here, as they move forward in these and against that first series against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I was thinking too. And I know these seedings are based on division standings, not just points. Man, and again, the New Yorker me, I would have loved to see Rangers Islanders, right? That they play each other right then and there. Maybe they could play it right there in Rockefeller Center in the rink. Do the full-on synergy with NBC and just play it outdoors. I don't know if I don't think it's a regulation size rink that's right there in Rockefeller.
No, we just
Plaza.
go to 3-on-3. Why not just go to 3-on-3?
Well, isn't that the rules, right? That regular season overtime rules apply early on.
For the top four seeds in each, but the other series that play in, so to speak, those are overtime. You go 3-4 overtimes. You play until you have a winner.
That's it. And then again, Eddie, I mean, I'm assuming with the players already coming off of quarantine, the playoff beards would be particularly great. I mean, like in terms of all-time playoff beards.
I've been told is that hair grows more in the summertime, so I'm assuming that.
Wow.
I know the Sharks are not in it, but Brent Burns and Joe Thornton could have beards down to their knees if they happen to be in the playoffs.
But yeah, they could be like ZZ Top, right? To go old school right there. 2 minutes for low bearding. That could be something like that. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.